scrolling back the years with the Pep Linders background. Anyway, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys can see on the title, as it says Husam, X Tom, X James, because I've done the video by myself. We've done Al obviously today covering the entire Premier League. We're going to be back tomorrow, inshallah, for A-listers. So we've got so much different content coming your way. So stay tuned. Everyone watching us right now or on the replay, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of guys like to watch us on the replay, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And before I introduce my guests, I just want to publicly thank you all for your support in the month of August. In the month of September, sorry, you guys have been absolutely unbelievable. October is here, 2nd of October. Love for all the love Habibis. You know, we keep breaking records, doing great with you guys, and it's just unbelievable, man. So big up to you guys. Slap the like, subscribe. And you know, when you probably saw this title, your bet was on two people being late, either me and Tom Little. But let me surprise you. It's the third guy who's late who ain't here. James Redmond has bottled it. He might be on his way. He might not be on his way. But everyone join me in welcoming the man, the myth, the legend. You know what surprises me most about working with this guy? We worked with each other on the terrace probably for like 6 months. Never thought of doing a show with this guy or anything. And then I invite him, and then we discover a gem. It's like that Salah Nunez connection. Obviously, I'm Salah, he's Nunez, because I'm like the guy, you know, he's Nunez, he's on the come up. So joining us on the channel, of course, please welcome him. It's his 18th birthday today. He turns 18. Everyone in the chat, join me by saying happy birthday, Tom Little, in the chat. The man himself is here, man, like Tom Little. How you doing, Tom, man?
I'm all right. If you ignore football and the disgrace that we had to go through yesterday, I'm all right. I'm quite happy. Not much to complain about in life.
I'm glad you're happy, my brother. Everyone wish him a happy birthday, man. I told you my limit's 15. So you were 17, 16, 15, 15, 16, 17, now 18. So now it starts to go in reverse
When was I
again.
7? I'm pretty sure last stream I was 16, so I've just skipped the birthday along the way.
No, last stream you were 15. I said that's my limit, no?
So why we're now back up to 18? Surely I go 16, 17.
No, I skipped 17. 17 is a boring year, innit? Like,
Right.
18 is so much more fun, 100%. Come on, like, imagine turning 17. Turning 18 is so much better. Anyway, happy everyday birthday, Tom. Facts, Sean. You already know the vibes. Anyway, everyone watching us right now, big up to everyone in the chat. 300 people of you in here already. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. And oh my God, there is no way. Did you see that, Tom? Did you see that?
You don't understand how hot my head has been from that decision. And I've now got people impersonating the man. It's not even the correct man. It's down in England. I'm expecting it down in England. Super chat.
This is either Shaq Abden or Felipe or Joe Cavalier. My bet is on Felipe because he supports Newcastle. So he's the only one who would think of doing something like this. Yeah. I'm not even going to say big up Simon Hooper because that'll be probably our first topic that we start with. I'll be honest with you, from a football perspective, it's nothing but pride of this team. But big up to you, whoever you are. Sorry about the offside decision. Hope you are well. I'm not well because of your decisions, Simon. So anyway, Tom, give me your summary of the game. Give me what you think of the game. And this is the first time where I'm going to go like, you can actually start with refereeing decisions. But before I let you go, you see this? This boiled my blood before we went live. Of course, 24 hours later, his tune changes. Of course. They spoke to him. They called him. That's the only explanation. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm actually not going to start with the refereeing decision because it's over 24 hours later. That will have its own moments to be talked about, but I want to talk about the players. I want to talk about the team. I want to talk about how proud I am of them because we weren't just up against it. We were up against everything yesterday. Down to 10, dodgy decision. Perfectly fine goal ruled out. Another one which could be argued as a dodgy decision, which sends you down to 9 men. Away at one of the best sides in the league, and we were the better side. I don't care what a 35-minute Twitter clip of Dominic Szoboszlai and Cody Gakpo slipping in midfield does. I remember what I saw. I remember in the first half, we had the better chances. Bar your goal, there was nothing else. In the second half, you didn't. Did you even have a shot in the box? Your goal had to be our centre back putting it in the top corner because you couldn't do it. Like, I'm just so proud of them boys and the performance we put in yesterday. That has given me a hell of a lot more confidence than the win probably would have done in a weird sort of way, because the mentality, the fight, the togetherness, all that sort of stuff. It showed me it's there and it's arguably better than ever. I've never seen us like this before, and that should be a terrifying thing for the rest of the league to see the state we're in. The big thing I'll always say is the best teams, for me, the teams I most enjoy watching, are the ones who are able to sit there and go, they're able to like tap into that mentality of it's us against the world. It's the world against us, and we'll show the world. And I think that's what we're in now. Having all that go against us yesterday, seeing the videos of Nunes after the game, seeing all the statements from the players and the interviews and all that sort of stuff, like it's given me so much confidence about the whole season. Hopefully the Gakpo injury isn't bad, because I thought he had a really good game yesterday. There's opportunities now.
Apparently, by the way, today the news about his injury is it's only gonna be like 3-4 weeks or something, which is, to be fair, compared to what we first thought, that's good news. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's really good news. I mean, look, every single one of those players who played yesterday, they deserve a pat on the back. Not Nunes. Jota is the only one who can sort of sit there and go, like, come on, came on as a sub, and then that happens. But the likes of Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gomez, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, Endo, Gravenberch, Trent, Canati, all those. Alisson as well, especially, massive pat on the back, massive credit to them, because that was tough and they deserved better than what they got. They were. It wasn't through our doing that we didn't get a point. It wasn't through our doing. We done everything right, and we've been robbed there. And I think the reason why it probably is more annoying is we know how tight the margins are. We know how thin the margins are when it comes to title races in the Premier League nowadays. 1 or 2 points can decide it. And when you're losing points through nothing of your own doing, that's where it's crazy. That's where it's absolutely crazy to me. And that's why the Gary Neville tweets and all that stuff, they don't sit right with me, because even if we just take away the footballing side of things, we're not dealing with Sunday League or Barry 54s at the crap weekend because the Sunday League team lost. No. We are dealing with hundreds of millions of pounds of revenue on the line. Hundreds of millions. That could be the difference for football clubs.
But the PGMOL apologized, Tom, so it should be okay now.
Yeah, no, you're right, Husam. So at the end of the season,
the apology is so important, Me and you, we feel so much better as Liverpool fans. They apologized. Oh my God.
Husam. You know, at the end of the season, when at the Etihad, Kyle Walker's lifting that Premier League trophy, we're gonna do our own little thing. We'll have a frame. We'll have Van Dijk walk out. Everyone gets medals, and we're gonna sit there with the apology list to be like, yeah, get in there.
Yes, PGMOL apology. So what happens if we lose the league by 3 points then? What will that apology do for me?
It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. And even today, you would have thought that after the shit show of yesterday, they'd be on the best behaviour. They'd be clocked in, knowing exactly everything. Don't know if you watched Brentford, Nottingham Forest. Even if you didn't, you probably saw the Wisser and Matt Turner thing where Wisser tackled him and Matt Turner proceeded to boot him, and it's not a penalty. This is the best league in the world. This is the most expensive, most highly thought of league in the world. and it's refereed by morons. It's refereed by people who are inept at their job. In the past 14 months, there has been 14 separate apologies by the PGMOL. We are averaging an apology a month by the so-called best in class. The best in class are averaging an apology a month. What is that setting? What sort of precipice and standard is that setting? It's mind-blowing, and I've done my own video on the whole Tottenham fans and this, that, like that. That's irrelevant. I genuinely have no issue with Tottenham on a base level because they're not the ones who ruled out our goal. They're not the ones who fucked us over. It's the inept referees, and this isn't the first time. It certainly
All
won't be
this
the last.
proves is just
But
Tottenham are a small club. That's it.
but nothing's changing. Nothing is changing. You
I
could,
agree.
the big thing is that this might just be how I was brought up. This might just be the morals and standards and lessons I was brought up on. When you apologize for something, when you sit there and acknowledge and apologize for something, you normally apologize and then don't do it again. It's not an apology, so you could do it again 2-3 weeks later and then apologize again and do it 2-3 weeks later and apologize again. That's not it. There is nothing changing. The standard of if a referee cocks up like they did yesterday, what they get is a week off. They get a week off and they get a slap on the wrist and they get looked after and we get told we're the villains for it. Do you want to know the mad thing? They ask for sympathy for referees. And you know what? Maybe referees do deserve sympathy, but they're not going to get sympathy when you make them out to be authoritarian and dehumanize them. We sympathize with humans. If I could see why he's made that error, if I could understand how he's got to that choice, will I still be annoyed? 100% I would be. Obviously, I would be. But I could sympathize. When you sit there and fine people for daring to speak about it, when you sit there and try and control the media narrative on it, when you sit there and dehumanize these people, you cannot expect human reactions towards them. It's never going to happen. That's not how people work. That's not how emotions work. And then you can't criminalize the people who aren't giving it to you. We have told you what needs to be done. Let us listen to the stuff that's being said because you've shown that you can do that. Have the referees come out and do interviews afterwards. Humanize them. You'll get more sympathy that way. But no, you put them out. You make the referees look like it's a separate world to the ones we live on. Like we're peasants compared to the referees. When in reality, I could probably do a better job. You could do a better job. So many people could do better jobs than what we're seeing because it's not hard decisions. It's not hard decisions. And the VAR,
And what's worse than the on-field referees, the VAR. Like you had one job. You're
have
literally
all the tools. They have all the tools at their disposal, and they're still making the incorrect decisions and influencing decisions. The Curtis Jones red card. You know I'm a big defender of Curtis Jones. This isn't even about Curtis Jones. I'd say the same if it was Soboslai, Salah, Gum, whoever. You are going to influence the referee's decision when he's walking over. All he sees for the first 15 seconds is that.
100%. I said that. They didn't even show him the tackle, by the way. They didn't show him the tackle.
Didn't show it. They didn't show it. No
All they did was just show the moment Curtis hit the guy's feet. That's what
exactly.
they showed.
We don't play football in still images and in freeze frame. Football moves. It's a quick sport. Therefore, you cannot judge something that moves so quickly on that because it doesn't work. It takes it away. Okay, there was no malicious intent. He won the ball. Momentum happens. He slipped. That's probably the one I'm most accepting of as well. I have no real problems with Tottenham and the way that game went in terms of how they played out and everything, because I'd expect us to do the same if we were handed those lifelines. But I would also expect us to come out and acknowledge it and understand that we've gotten away with one and it shouldn't be allowed to continue. And the whole idea that the game should be replayed, that's never, as much as,
Never gonna happen.
Some people might believe that's the correct. It's never going to happen. But if this is the catalyst for major change, which based on our statements we're trying to push it to be, then that's the best we can hope for. And the idea that we're getting criminalised for it and moaned at for it is mind blowing to me because every single team's lost out by VAR. We're trying to correct
100%.
those errors. We're trying to fix a broken system, and you are laughing at us. You are taking the piss out of us for it. Do you just want the same mistakes to happen week in, week out until it affects your team? At which point you sit there and moan. It's never going to happen. I will say this about anyone else, any other team, because it affects us all. At the end of the day,
100%.
I watched that game yesterday. We were the better side, and I will not have any
100%.
Tottenham
We
fan
were
try
the
and tell
better
me
side, 11
otherwise.
v 11 and 10 v 11.
9v11. We were 2 men down. We were still getting into their half. We were
And they
still
couldn't
creating
break us down.
opportunities.
How
It took a
embarrassing.
Joe massive own goal to break us down. And the Jota red card, because that's the only one that spoke on. The second one is a stupid tackle. I'm not going to sit there and say the second one's not a booking because I'm not a liar. The first one isn't a booking though. What is Diogo Jota supposed to do? It's not his fault. Udogi's kicked
Udogi
his knee.
slipped, literally, and he clipped his own heel.
Udogi's kicked his knee, and Jota's been called back for it. Let's even go to another one. When Mo Salah battles
The
with
Bissouma
Basuma,
one. Oh, that
start
one
the second half,
fumed me.
wins the ball, and he gets booked for it.
Bissouma just falls.
He gets booked. And the one of the most weird part is, I listened to Neville's explanation on why he believes Jota got sent off. He done like a podcast thing for it, and he said the first one probably isn't a yellow, but it is based on the accumulation of fouls. Not the best logic, but okay. Diogo Jota, that was his third foul when he got booked. Richarlison made 3 fouls yesterday and didn't get booked. What happened to accumulation?
Facts.
Basuma made 3 fouls yesterday and didn't get booked until he quite literally pushed Endo in the face like that. That was his booking. When he put the mandible claw on Wataru Endo in the middle of the pitch, like he was the great Carly or whatever.
It's disgusting. Let me read the super chat question from Ash. He says 2 things. Everything was on our side until we did something. These journalists, the top journalists, by the way, are tweeting about childish stuff about replays. Look, me and Tom have already acknowledged a replay is not going to happen. First of all, if a replay happens, we beat Spurs just by mentality, 5-0. I promise you. If they get both teams together and go like we're going to replay it tomorrow, Monday night, I promise you Spurs would lose 5-0. In their own backyard, even with Gakpo out. Like it would just be a bloodbath. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you're saying everyone was on our side until we did something, I feel like, City lost and suddenly they're like, no, we ain't about to make Liverpool top of the league. Let's just, just shit on their parade, because the stuff that happened in that game was just disgusting, and the reality is it's just nothing we can do about it, because now all these apologies mean nothing. And I just want to mention, big up to you, Ash. Big up to you, Simon. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. 500 people are here. Let me just say something, right? All the idiotic Spurs fans that are saying it was even or they were better, I've got factual evidence to prove you wrong. When it was 11 v 11, we had 6 shots, you had 1. When it was 11 v 11, let me give you the actual detailed evidence, because sometimes, as they say, what do they usually say, Tom? Men lie, women lie. What doesn't lie? Numbers. So let's read what the numbers. At 11 v 11, Liverpool's XG 0.39, Tottenham Hotspur 0.01. Your XG was 1 out of 100. That was your XG. And you're telling me that you were the better team? Expected threats, we were triple your expected threats. Everything that we've done in that game, even at 11 v 11, we had the most dangerous chances, we had the most dangerous opportunities. The referee forgot to draw the line, and then the explanation over is even more pathetic. The guy comes out later and says, what? We thought that the on-field decision was goal. Tells you all you need to know. Tells you literally all you need to know. Mo Salah got a perfectly incredible assist, by the way, for Luis Diaz. Goal ruled off, not even checked by VAR again.
No, it was
and
checked.
On top of all that, let me just say this. On top of all that, when it was 10 v 11, let me land 1 second. When it was 10 v 11, even when we were a man down, I done a halftime show. Many people who usually come on the halftime show, sometimes they're negative, upset when we were losing. every single person at halftime was saying, even with 10 men, we're going to win this because we are that much better than you. We genuinely believe that we're going to beat you with 10 men. And we scored a goal with 10 men, which shows you how overhyped and how much there is so much extra media hype for Ainge. Nice guy, mate. Postacoglu. He says mate, and he's nice in press conferences, so let's all kiss his ass. That's not gonna happen from me. That's not gonna happen from me. And you're gonna go on a bad run soon, and all this Ainge Postacoglu hype will get exposed. Go ahead, Tom.
The idea that they just didn't draw the lines is wrong. The actual explanation is even worse.
I saw.
They have
They thought
stated,
it was onside.
but do you want to know why I struggle to understand that? Because I've watched the other videos that they release, the curated ones which they release about you can listen to the commentary, sorry, and every single time they make a decision, it's 6 people going handball, 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 things handball, handball, handball. If I've got that for 5-10 seconds, I'm not going to suddenly go, oh, I thought it was offside. I thought it was offside. I thought that was what he meant. Brain dead, brain dead.
And you know what? I think
there is a simple solution to this.
Because Diaz didn't celebrate, and the guy was sat there doing this with his flag. So how did
the
they
flag's
think
there like that? The flag's there like that. They've got
Yeah.
cameras for it. But the simple solution is this: release the audio. Release the audio. You're going to lose either way, but release the audio. But they're never going to do that,
They
Husam.
won't.
They're never going to do that. But do you know what they'll do, Husam? The next time they do one of them shows, they'll find a VAR decision that everyone knew. That it was so blatantly obvious that VAR got right. And they'll praise it and they'll go, this is what VAR is about. This is why it's amazing. No. We don't care about that. In the same way that on the last one, they didn't show one of the big decisions because they look after them. They doctor that they manage it. I'm not one to say that this is not. Bear in mind, I don't want people sitting there suggesting this is me saying, it's an agenda against Liverpool. It's no. This is about
but this season we've had 4 red cards in 7 games.
This is about the shit standards of refereeing.
Are we the bad boy Pistons now? Like, what's happening? Are we fucking Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars punching people up?
It's the standard of refereeing, and do you know what it is? We moan about it, or everyone moans about it when it happens to their close. When we see it happen to a rival, or when people see it happen to a rival, they laugh about it. That's the problem. That is the issue in itself. When you are encouraging this poor standard, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. It's like when you try and train a fucking dog. You don't sit there when it pisses on your rug and go, well done. Sit there and go, what are you doing? It makes 0 sense. And this is the standards that I have carried for the past couple of years, and I will continue to carry beyond this point, whether it is United, Everton, or fucking Luton. The standard of refereeing has to improve because we are not dealing with Sunday League. We are not dealing with low standards of football. There are hundreds of millions of pounds, hundreds of thousands of jobs in this industry. And the refereeing cock-ups, when you have the clear corrective measures there, they are so much bigger than just an apology and I'm sorry. They are worth tens of, if not hundreds of, if not millions of pounds. And they're never going to reimburse that. So then what happens? Then what do we do here? This is why. And again, do you want to know what the big issue is? And why people sit and go, wait, the VAR. The VAR is the biggest gripe. Because if you've noticed, the moaning isn't about the Jones red card or the Jota red card. That's not the biggest gripe. The biggest gripe is the fact that it goes incorrectly ruled out. You had all the tools there to fix your error. You, in fact, fixed your error. But the one human part of it, the one part which isn't done by a computer, you managed to cock up on. You managed to cock up on saying 2 words. And then people wonder why there's a lack of trust in the referees, why there's a lack of belief in the referees, when the one part they need to do their job right, out of that entire situation, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And I'm sure you've seen the video now where after the free kick, and then it goes out for a throw in, and he sat there and he goes, they've told him he's got it wrong.
So why didn't he make a decision then?
Because the fucking rule is broken. And the moment the free kick's taken, you're not allowed to go back.
What?
It's a mind-numbing rule. But look. I will continue to talk about the referees. That can happen later on. But I want to end my bit on this. The football players that play for
Liverpool. Are you going to talk about football? If you're going to talk about football, wait, because we have I feel like that's a separate segment. So just hold tight for a second, because the refereeing thing for me heavily influenced the football side of things. Big up to my guy, Red Chili, who says my last £2 again until after midnight. Red Chili, I can't lie to you. I feel bad every time you said that these super chats like, here, Husam, you can have my last £2. My brother, like, I love you, but like, listen, almost says thank you, big up to you, man, but like, damn. Big up Red Chili. W's in the chat for Red Chili. Big up, brothers. We are legit title contenders. I absolutely love this team. The mentality and quality is so strong. Yesterday showed how good we are. Ryan, that's the part we're going to address now in the next segment, because we ain't going to sit up here and talk about referees for the next 50 minutes. So yeah, that's basically what it is. But the problem is, and this is what I said to Tom even before we went live. The problem is the referees just have heavily influenced the outcome of the game. So it's not like we're talking about the referees because we think there is some sort of hidden agenda, but they've just heavily influenced the outcome of the game, and we have to address it. It's as simple as that. Thanks so much, Ryan.
It's the biggest game of the weekend.
As an apology, I never should accept it then, 100%. Didn't he say an apology should be enough? Khalas then.
Yeah,
If
he said that all that matters. He said that all that matters is the Glazers saying, or the ref saying, sorry, we fucked up. So I hope that applies to owners as well. It shouldn't. At the end of the day, this is the biggest game of the weekend. This is second versus third, with a potential chance to go top of the league on the line. And referees who were in fucking UAE on Thursday were in charge of the game. First of all,
can you tell them about Simon Hooper's previous history, please? What you said on the terrace. Can you repeat it here, because people might not be aware?
Oh yeah, Simon Hooper. We all know about the Manchester United Wolves game earlier this season, which is the second worst VAR decision of the season.
Close line from hell.
Yeah, yeah, that was the second worst decision of the season so far, and you'll never guess who was involved in the making of that decision either. Simon Hooper. You'll never guess who got removed. You'll never guess who got removed from his duty for a week because of that decision. Simon Hooper. And yet, within 6 match weeks, he's back refereeing the game of the weekend. If I was to fuck up in my job to the point where I should be removed, I would not then, 6 weeks later, be put back in the most high-profile position. I'd be sent to the doldrums. For football and equivalent, I should be sent to League One, being told to sort your shit out. Go sit in stands full of 10,000 people and sort your shit out before you're allowed to referee in the big leagues again.
Because if Tom went on the Big Six from a YouTube perspective and he fucked up the entire show for them after a big Liverpool loss or something, then this guy should go and start a new channel from scratch and build himself up. Not simply just come back on the next Big Six. That's just not how life works. Everyone has to pay repercussions when they mess up, except these referees. Jota's body language.
I just want to understand as well why the referees were allowed to go to the UAE 2 days, and referee a game on Thursday.
2 days before the game, 100%.
Like, how does that possibly
And he's the
make
same
any
guy
sense?
that sent off McAllister. That's 3 red cards in 2 games from the same guy.
Like, how are we possibly in the same situation where our refereeing standard isn't very good? Our referees should be doing more training than any other league. And yet we're sitting there going, oh, we can send them out to the UAE. They can ref out in the UAE. That makes no sense. If that's the case, if we're showing that we are willing to do these things where we send out referees to foreign leagues, I'm going to suggest an absolutely mental idea here.
I know.
Go and buy the best in class referees and get them to referee in our league.
100%.
Do that, because that is better than the shit show we're watching at the minute. And you know what? That there was an article. The Saudis want to go buy the English refs. I'll do you a package deal. You pay for 4, you get the rest for free. You get the
100%.
rest referee.
Get them all.
Take
Get them all.
take them all.
Only guy I
Let,
would keep is
let us use
Michael
that one.
Oliver out of all the refs. Because he's the only guy who I think has a brain on a real, like.
He's
It's
the
just
best of a
weird.
bad bunch. There's a reason why there's no English refs at any major tournaments.
100%. Neither there should be. Jota's body language and attitude is stinking for me. People are saying like Jota is so stupid for making that second tackle. The first tackle, Udogi clipped himself. And as Tom knows, and as I know, as everyone in the chat knows, one of the main jobs of a referee is something called controlling the game. When you're refereeing a big six-side game, Liverpool versus Spurs, City versus Chelsea, whatever, you don't send off two players for 2 yellows in a row. What he should have done is called him in and warned him. Simple as. Big up to you, Cavi says, we will come out of this swinging. You have given us the ammunition that helped Mourinho galvanize his team against Fergie for years. Wait and see. 100% Cavi. This is going to be an us against the world thing now. This is going to be a Liverpool against the world. They're all against us thing. And all this is going to do is build momentum to the roof with this football club, with our football club, with our beloved club. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And finally, Joe says, the officiating was crap. And regards to Cody, I hope it's a strain without a scan. Nothing is certain. No weight bearing. Hobbling, need a brace and crutch. How is he allowed to play? Medical error. Joe, I'll be honest with you. This is one thing that I do want to get into later on in this video. This is why when I did the show with James Redmond, and I've spoken to Tom about this before, this is why the Europa League and Carabao Cup, I want fully changed teams. Gakpo played against Leicester. I know Nunez got a knock before you come off mute. I know Nunez got a knock. But the point is, there is a level of seriousness we should be taking the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. And I think we're doing too much now. Because Szoboszlai, for example, if he plays against San Gilwaz, that's like his 8th game in a row. We're in October, and he already has 8 games in his locker, which is bad. So that's my problem.
So,
and when it comes to the
are you
refereeing,
suggesting, Husam, that Gakpo shouldn't have played against Leicester then?
I mean, if he wanted to start him against Spurs, I wouldn't have played against Leicester, no.
But the plan wasn't to start him against Spurs. He got injured after Leicester. That's why Gakpo had to start, because Nunez got injured the day before.
You're talking about Nunez.
And do you want me to be honest?
You're talking about Nunez.
Yeah. So Nunez and Gakpo, like, they're interlinked because of the fact.
Yeah. So why didn't you just
Gakpo,
start Jota then?
Because Jota also played against Leicester, and the fact of the matter is Gakpo was the better option. The injury he sustained was nothing to do with the fact.
Unfortunately, I have to say it.
Yeah, but he couldn't play. He'd have to sub him off after 30, which makes no sense. The fact
I
of the
just
matter
wish
is
the second yellow never happened, because I know we would have seen Nunez.
You would have seen Nunez come on for Diaz, Jota on the left, Salah on the right. You would have cooked. But back on the Gakpo thing, the injury wasn't sustained because he played against Leicester. The injury was sustained in the tackle with Udogi, where his ankle goes back and in turn his knee jars, and then he has to carry on playing. He scores the goal, but in terms of doing the turn and hitting the ball in that sort of situation, it's worse than the knee injury. The knee injury, how was he allowed to play? Because he was fit before the game. He got injured during the game. That happens. Is it annoying? Yeah, but it is what it is. Do I hope he's back quickly? Yeah. I'm actually very thankful that we've got an international break coming up, which he can rest throughout, and we won't miss him for as many games. But I don't think anyone done anything wrong in terms of how he managed his situation that game. Let's not forget, if we took him off after he got the injury, we don't score, because he was the one who scored. Like, it is what it is. I don't think, though, that you can use that one as a basis for we're not doing it right in this, that, and the other. The stuff about Szoboszlai, he shouldn't start. But then again, if he has to come on for the last 10 minutes, he comes on for the last 10 minutes. Let's not act like
okay. I'll explain to you what I mean in a second. I think I've gotten what you're trying to say, and this is what I want to get into now, because we want to get into the football. I mean, look, all the Spurs fans who are pissed off in the chat, you can hold it. I'll be so honest with you. This just shows how pathetic your club is. You couldn't break down 9-man Liverpool. So, yeah, you needed an own goal from Matip 30 seconds before the whistle blew to break down 9-man Liverpool. Had you been with 9 men, we'd won 5-1. So that's number one. Number two, when it was 11v11, I had 6 shots, you had 1. I had 10 times your XG. And on top of that, even when it was 10v11, I was looking dangerous and we still scored. So these are all facts. These are not opinions. There was an onside goal not given, perfectly good goal, not even checked by VAR. And the first yellow card that Jota didn't even tackle Udogi is pathetic. So that right there, two massive mistakes. And let's not talk about Curtis Jones. So anyway, now let's move on to the football, Mr. Tom. Before we do, everyone in the chat, make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys are subscribing. Big up to Joe, Cave, Luazi, Sidi, Red Chili, Ryan, Ash, and Simon for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Everyone right now, please like, subscribe. And we'll be back, inshallah, when Spurs lose their second game of the season. I will make sure I cook Spurs on a weekly, inshallah, every time they lose. So anyway, Tom, the football, get into it, because I was filled with pride yesterday, and I even tweeted, I'm not even criticizing anyone.
Massively, that was a fantastic performance from those players out there yesterday. I've seen videos today of people praising it and getting laughed at. Look, down to 9 men for the last 26 minutes of a game against a top 6 rival away from home, and we limited them to an own goal. That was it. I don't remember them having a clear-cut chance where Alisson needs to bail us out when we were down to 9 men. They had a flurry at the start of the second half with the Maddison shot, the Son shot, and they had their goal and a cross in the first half. Beyond that, barring possession at centre-back, which, guess what, Tottenham fans? I don't give a shit. You can have the ball with Romano and Van der Ven. You're not going to score from there, so I don't care. It means nothing to me. Beyond that, we were the better side. We created better chances, forced some good saves, had a perfectly good goal ruled out. So unlucky with the other Diaz one where he slid in. If he's just half an inch closer, it's in the bottom corner. He scored a goal like that against Chelsea. He just didn't get the rub of green this time against Tottenham. Again, that's another ridiculous Salah pass. Second half, down to 10 men, couldn't really get going. I think.
Apparently, Udogi locked up Salah, by the way. Apparently. Locked up.
I mean, considering the way Salah was dogging on them in the first half, creating like 3 big clear-cut chances or whatever, I wouldn't say it was dogging on him, but hey-ho. Like,
everyone hit the 3 dots and go subscribe to my guy Saad's channel as well. Make sure to listen to him as well. So go to channel, subscribe. Big up Saad, man.
I mean, look, I'm filled with pride. I'm not got a bad thing to say about any of those players out there. Like I said earlier, it's filled me with a hell of a lot of confidence.
You know why? Because we didn't cave in. If we caved in to like them having the ball and stuff like that, okay, let me like explain what I mean, because I don't want to say something that's a crazy statement. When we went down to 9 men, had Liverpool Football Club lost their mind and lost the game 4-1, 5-1, got humiliated, that's different. That's different to us being resilient. We ended the game in a 5-3-0 formation. Like we were defending.
Our most advanced player was Wataru Endo. That was the man leading our frontline press. Wataru Endo.
Some moments Robertson as well, because Robertson usually.
And he got booked for Pedro Porro eyeing the foul by just looking at him the whole time. Like, again, another shit reference back on the football. Alisson proved why he's the best goalkeeper this league has ever seen. They will never see a goalkeeper as good as Alisson. You can say you're Czech, you can say you're Schmeichel. They were fantastic goalkeepers for their time. But the one thing Alisson has is completeness. I could chuck Alisson in the 90s, I could chuck Alisson in the noughties, and I could chuck Alisson in the 2010s. And I
could chuck him in the 60s and he'd still be amazing.
I could chuck Alisson back in any era of goalkeeping, and he still stands out as one of the best because he is so complete. The shot stopping yesterday, ridiculously good. Do you want to know what I think it is, Alisson? And I will continue to say this. He never gets the credit he deserves for his shot stopping because he's too good at it. His anticipation and his reading is too good. That, you know, that one which Maddison, not the one Maddison, there was another one, hit it from far out and he's dived and caught it.
We nullified Maddison all game long. Nullified him.
The thing with Maddison was we nullified him, and the moments we let him free, he done something. He played good through balls. The moment you let him free, but we were going to let him free because we were down players. But back on Alisson, I can't remember who took the shot. It might be Maddison, it might be Sorgano, but they've had a shot from him just outside the box, and Alisson Becker has dived in a situation where the likes of Onana, Ramsdale, Ederson, any other goalkeeper I can think off the top of my head, push it out for a corner, get up and start shouting at the defenders. Alisson Becker has dived and caught it. That's the stuff he does. And that's why people think he's in a good shot stopper, because they're not mad saves.
How about the centre back in front of him?
Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk, massive. I'll talk about both of them. I thought both of them were fantastic. I was someone who not criticised, but bemoaned Virgil van Dijk getting the captaincy a little bit, because I sat there and went, whilst he's been the captain of the Dutch, he's not really had the best sort of run of it. He struggled a little bit. His performances have, been a little bit inconsistent. Maybe he's not built to be the captain. My God, was I wrong? Since he's become captain of Liverpool, the leadership, the standards, everything's been perfect. Perfect. Can't fault him. Top performance yesterday again. Showed that he's a brilliant defender. Marshalled that back line. Joel Matip, I thought his passing was good. I thought his dribbling was good. I thought he was very good defensively. Again, not bad to say about Matip, and I'm certainly not holding that own goal against him. Not at all.
You can't. Listen, heat of the moment, I called him a clown. I can't lie. Heat of the moment, I called him a clown.
I didn't. You can say
no,
that.
but Tom, it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah,
heat of the moment, it's normal.
I've played centre back before. I understand that in that situation, it's the 96th minute. It's a low cross coming across the face of goal. You don't have any idea who's behind you. You're just trying to kick it away. It's bounced off his shin. It's went into the top corner. It happens. It's unlucky. The left back, I thought Robertson had a great game. I think people might try and brush it under the carpet. I don't think he'd done an awful lot wrong. I thought he kept Kulusevski very quiet. I thought Kulusevski had moments, but he kept him quiet for the majority. I thought Joe Gomez, again, another one, who had a very good game. The first goal, I will say, was the only defensive mistake, and it's the same defensive mistake that has happened with us week in, week out. Our line, it's at times where our centre-backs don't know how to hold a line. So, for that goal, you had Matip and Gomez there, and you had Van Dijk and Robertson there, and then Richarlison was, sat on the shoulder of Gomez, but in line with Van Dijk and Robertson. That was why he was onside. If we could genuinely, this is going to sound, if we could hold our offside line the whole game, no one would score past us. Because 100%. The times it gets beaten is when someone like a Robertson or a Van Dijk is a yard back and he plays everyone on. That is the only gripe I've got defensively. I thought McAllister had one of his best games. I think that'll go under the radar. I thought in a tough midfield battle, he was everywhere, winning tackles, retaining possession. Soboslai. Do you want to know what it is, Sam, with Soboslai now?
Next time when we want an overrated English midfielder, a new Beckett, I will personally fly to Liverpool and slap the shit out of you. Imagine we were sat here with Mount instead of Soboslai. Genuinely, what would you do with yourself? Be honest. Be honest. No, Tom, look at the camera and be honest right now. What would you do to yourself? I don't think you would survive this season.
I don't know. Look, you
Mount
know why
ain't scoring these bangers.
The thing is, I have a weak defense. So why I was saying Mount, because I've never watched Soboslai. Thank God I was wrong. For one, the thing is with Soboslai now, the standard of performance he's putting in, it's creating a new higher standard for him. That average, what certain players would have as top performances are going to be average Soboslai ones. And yes, there was one or two moments where he had poor passes, where he lost the ball. But when you're the most creative midfielder, that happens. I don't get why people think that players aren't allowed to give the ball away. I thought Curtis Jones, the 20-odd minutes he was on the pitch, solid, done what he needed to do, retain the ball, had some nice dribbling moments, bollocks red card. I thought Ryan Gravenberch, when he came on, if he'd have been on in a three-man midfield with an attacker up there, something really good could have happened, because I thought he was getting a lot of joy with his runs. Wataru Wendo, not got anything bad to say about him when he came on. Who else? I thought Gakpo, great. Can't fault him, got involved, had some good chances. I thought Luis Diaz was always a threat. I really like what we were doing on the attack, where you'd get the ball to Salah, he'd size up Udogie, he'd cut pass, he'd pull it across, and Diaz would pull off the back of Pedro Porro and get to the penalty spot practically unmarked. And he'd done that twice. One time was a good block from Romero. The other time, the pass was just a little bit behind Diaz. If we'd have been able to pull that off a couple more times in the game, who knows what could have happened. And Mo Salah, I mean, what do I need to say about that, man? What do I need to say about him? Created, for me, 3 big chances. Should have gotten an assist. Should have kept that run to 13 games in a row with a goal contribution. An absolute joke of a footballer. And this team, the confidence it's given me is ridiculous. Like Newcastle was mad. The feeling after winning against Newcastle was mad. The feeling after the Aston Villa game was
We
one
aren't,
of
you know what's
pride.
annoying me? We aren't really a dirty team like that, and this is our 4th red card. Like, you know,
I,
I don't know if this
I,
stat is
I don't
true,
even
but
class it as four
apparently,
because one got overturned. Like
yeah,
that says it all. When one's getting overturned, you can't class it as a red card. The other one, Van Dijk, yeah, red card is what it is. It's not a dirty tackle. It's just a red card.
no,
The
but
other
my
two,
point is like I'm
contentious.
looking back at us. I don't know if the stat was true. Apparently, the last like 4 years we had 4 red cards. The whole 4 years,
The last 5 years, we had 4 red cards. We've now got 4 red cards in 7 games.
4 red cards. Then we win like the fair play award like 5 years in a row or
Lad,
something.
it's stupid. Like,
You know what's crazy? If you told me name the 4 red cards in the last 7 years before this season started, I wouldn't have been able to tell you who.
I reckon I might be able to,
I remember Mane kick against Ederson. That's the one I remember vividly.
21-22. Did we have one that year?
Who got sent off?
That because I remember you had Allison getting sent off for handball against Brighton in
I don't remember
1920.
that. Genuinely don't remember that.
I was at the game, that's why I remember it. Milner red card
Milner,
against.
when did Milner get sent off? Against
He
who?
got he sent off against Crystal Palace when he 2 bookings on Zaha when he had to play right back in the 4-3 win in 2018-19. Nunes got
Okay.
sent off for the headbutt. So that takes you. So you got 22,
Oh, the
20.
Crystal Palace one. Okay.
I'm trying to. Did we get a sending off? Henderson against Watford. Yeah, Henderson against Watford. He got sent off there. I think that was the game before the derby or something. Who else? I'm
Henderson
trying to think.
against Watford. When did this happen?
18-19. So when we beat them at Vicarage Road, the game Trent scored the free kick. Henderson got sent off for a second bookable offence by taking someone down on the halfway line. I think Mane's the one that misses out because you've got 5 in between. Like it's mental. Like it's mental. Like we didn't get red cards, and now we've got 4 in one sort of thing. Like it's crazy. I mean, Robbo against Spurs, yeah, that's the other one I forgot when he boosted Emerson. Like you think about it, we're not a dirty team, and it just seems a real sort of unlucky patch for us. What do I think for the rest of the season going forwards? A hell of a lot of confidence. Obviously, we've got Brighton next week. No Curtis Jones, no Diogo Jota, no Cody Gakpo, bad looks of things. Do you want to know what I remember? I remember before the game, he was sitting there and we were having a debate about Curtis Jones or Ryan Gravenberch who should start against Tottenham. And I said, Ryan Gravenberch will get his chance, but it won't be because Curtis Jones deserves to be dropped. Something will happen. Ryan Gravenberch will get his chance. Ryan Gravenberch is now should have 3 games minimum to show why he should be taking that starting spot. And I've been impressed with him when he's played. I have been. I'm not going to sit down and lie and say, oh, no, Ryan Gravenberch is impressed me when he's played. So this is a big opportunity coming up for him. Brighton next week. Tough game. We had an awful time last time out of the Amex. But I've got confidence in these boys. This team have shown me that this might sound crazy. This really might do. This is probably the most mental statements I've said all night. This is the best mentality monsters Liverpool we've had. Because all the adversity we've gone up against in the first 7 games and to perform the way they have, for the standards to be as they are, it's special, man. It's so special. And when you see this team, if this continues on throughout the rest of the season, something special is going to come from this season. Because when it's taken the team that plays the nicest football in the league, 96 minutes, to take down 9 men, and it only came from an own goal, does that not just make you sit there and go, whoa, something's brewing here. Something special's happening here. Like,
No. For me, yesterday,
do you
someone
know
DM'd
what
me.
it is, Tom? Just before I let you go.
Go on.
You said before the game, if we beat Tottenham and we beat Brighton, I'll start to believe we can win that title.
100%.
I believe we can do that now. We lost. Because
But
that
now it depends what we
performance...
do against Brighton. Okay, let me tell you straight up answer what can stop us. Two things. Manchester City is not one of them. Arsenal is not one of them. There's two things that can stop us. Depth, injuries. Literally, there is no other reason. On a real. There is genuinely no other reason. And in my mind, right, yesterday's game, despite the loss, gives me massive positive indications. 100 million%, and I cannot deny
Hold
it.
on.
To be fair,
Hold on.
reason three. Reason three,
Yeah.
corruption.
But
To be
but
fair.
Lee, let me address Lee here. Tom, if any team put 9 men in the box, it'd be difficult. What did you expect us to do when we're down to 9 men? Did you expect us to play a 3-3-2, expansive, free-flowing, attacking football, where you're attacking the half spaces in between Basuma and Pedro Porro? So you got the late one from Gravenberch, and then Van Dijk is operating as a libero, stepping into midfield. But no, you're going to sit back when you've got shit going against you like that. It's also, guess what? It's called breaking down a low block, which is something every single team has to deal with.
Okay.
We got clowned for it for years. City get clowned for it when they can't do it. It's part of football, mate. And the fact of the matter is, it took you 26 minutes to break down 9 men. You had a 2-man advantage. Why didn't you start chucking a centre back forward? Because we didn't have a striker. It wasn't like you had to keep 2 back because Mo Salah's on the counter attack. Our most advanced player was Wataru fucking Endo. You could have chucked Van der Ven or Romero in the box to give yourself an aerial presence because that was what you were missing. Chuck Romero in the box. Start whipping the crosses. What you were doing was putting in crosses, which you're never going to win because we had an aerial presence. What's not to say Romero goes in that box, challenges Canate at the back post, wins the header, and all of a sudden it's fell for Richarlison or it's fell for Solomon to knock home. But he didn't do that. That's the thing. That's the thing, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've developed a little bit of a hatred arc for Spurs. Inshallah, future watch-alongs, I'll be supporting everyone against them. Now, anyway, before I read the super chats and we wrap up. So, Tom, here's my thing, right? The only thing that can stop us is injuries in depth on a reel. And going forward, here's the thing now. I posted a tweet. There's a guy who I speak to in the DMs. He's like, Husam, you just put out a positive tweet. Has someone hacked you? I'm like, no, I didn't get hacked. Like, didn't get hacked. I really am positive, even with the loss. I'm like, listen, we now have to carry this on. If we go Brighton away, because Tom, here's the difference, right? If we beat Brighton away from home, then it's a positive indication. But if we go to Brighton away and they play us off the park, suddenly we become a top 4 team because these guys would be 7-8 points ahead of us with
Sam,
8 games.
generally, I'm going to throw a scenario to you.
Yes.
What do we do? What do we do if we go to the Amex and we get another fucking red card?
I would start a petition, genuinely, to ban like Premier League referees at that point.
What happens if at the end of the Amex game we're down to 9 men again? Back has been sent off again, and fucking Endo's come on and got himself sent off. What do we do then?
You know, in my entire life, I have never been proud after a loss, except like the one that happened yesterday. Genuinely, never been more proud because they fought like lions. They were warriors on that pitch. And I'll be honest with you. Look, if it genuinely wasn't for a Matip own goal towards the end, this game ends 1-1, and we probably get one of the most difficult points of the entire club era.
If we end that game 1-1, it is one of the performances of the season across the entire
100%.
season, because
100%.
everything you're up against. Let's not forget the momentum and the media frenzy around Mr. Mate FC Tottenham going into that game.
Oh, Postecoglou, mate.
Ange Ball, the best football in the league. It played Arsenal off the park. We should have been comfortably beaten, and we weren't. We were unlucky to
100%.
lose that game.
100%.
And this is, again, like I said, I have no gripe with Tottenham for the shit refereeing. I have none. But I'm taking pride in the fact that we were able to limit what is supposed to be the best team in the world. My bet is probably
Darwin Núñez, my bet.
No, I think he'll be on his best behaviour because we've got no one else. It'll be one of the midfielders. Do you know what? Do you know what it could be, Husam? Do you know what it could be? Robbo or Núñez are my two. 100%. If I had to go, I'd go Robbo, And see, I think Maka wouldn't. Maka could actually, because he likes to get a booking. It'd be between
Nah, I wouldn't
Robbo
say
and
McAllister another red. Like,
do you want to? Why would I just thought of Soboslai? Soboslai goes
no,
in
no,
for a
no.
tackle.
Soboslai, no, not really like that.
No,
Either.
we're saying no, but it could happen. He charges someone down and he wins the ball, but the follow through breaks his leg or something because apparently that's what it matters now. And then we lose Soboslai for 3 games. I don't even want to imagine another red card. That's the fact of the matter. I've seen more minutes of Liverpool Football Club with 10 men than fucking 11 this season.
Fact, you know what? Let's not even talk about it. Let's not even talk about it. Anyway, I'll ask something of you guys before we end the video. Before I read the super chats and end the video, everyone stay right here. Don't go anywhere because this video is gonna redirect you to Tom Little's channel. Make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you go watch the video that he's about to do right now. He's about to drop a banger. Unfortunately, I have to go in a second. Big up to El Tayyib, who says direct question, like Husam says. Will we win APL? Look, I've already said directly. Only thing that can stop us is either injuries or depth. Because you can't now, if I say yes, come hold me accountable 3 months from now, if God forbid we've got no centre backs here or we've got no midfielders, then what? Like, come on, Tayyib. But thank you for the
Sam,
super chat.
mate, I don't even understand how much I'm looking forward to the Etihad. When we play City, I'm looking forward to that game.
I am. I just hope we have all our players fit.
Do you know what game? You know, like after games, sometimes I think, oh, I can't wait for the next one. I've like penciled in when we play Tottenham and Anfield.
May 4th.
If Darren fucking England is there, he's not.
He's not leaving Liverpool peacefully. Let's just say it like that. Big up to you, Joe. He says small squad, total games so far 37. Injuries are coming if they don't rest our players for certain. Any knock need investigation. 6 players with issues. No, listen, I completely agree with you. That's why this Thursday Union Sangul was. I do not want to see, and I'm sure me and Tom probably do a cheeky little preview maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Bro, I'll be honest with you. I am trying to literally play fringe players and youngsters in that game. You know who I want to see in that game? I want to see Kelleher. I want to see Gomez or Trent for building fitness. I've got no problem with either. I want to see Matip. I want to see what's his name, Phillips,
Constant.
or how do I keep forgetting? Or no, or Gomez. Sorry, if we play Trent right back, left back Tsimikas, midfield 3, but Bajcetic, Jones because he's suspended in the Prem. Or Konsa, yeah, no problem. No problem. 100%. Sorry. Matip, Konsa, Gomez on the right, or bring Trent on half an hour to build fitness.
I'd probably do Kelleher, Trent, because he needs the fitness. He looked a little bit slow at points yesterday. So Trent, maybe even Gomez, centre back. Just, so you keep them on top. Konsa and Tsimikas, end on by Bajcetic together.
Yes.
Maybe Bajcetic is an 8. Like
with Curtis Jones ahead of them because he's banned in the Prem.
Curtis Jones as well. Yeah, because you know what I'd potentially do? If you're that concerned about injuries.
This is where we're screwed now. Forward.
No. You got to hear me out. So you go.
What?
Endo in the 6, Jones on the right, Bajcetic on the left, Harvey Elliott wing, Ben Doak left wing, Diogo Jota up front.
Because the Jota's also banned.
Jota's also banned, so you can.
I'm backing that 100%. We have to be smart with our rotations, bro. We have to be smart with our rotations. I'll be so honest with you.
The thing is, when we challenged for that quad, we were so smart with the rotations. A couple of lapses are what cost us really in terms of Fabinho and Thiago and etc. But for the most part, that season we were smart with our rotations, and there was some crazy ones. I remember when we played Curtis Jones at DM against Southampton, and it worked, and he had a great game.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Ben Doak at left wing because we don't want to mess around with Diaz or Nunez's fitness is something that needs to happen.
Of course, you remember Jones's good games. LFC will do big things. Low injuries, non-long-term mentality, great depth. 9 out of 9 wins. I expect until you play City. What do you expect to win this season? Look, the game against Brighton, the games that are upcoming next are an indicator. At the end of the day, we still are in October. You can't win the league in October. You can lose it in October. We haven't lost it yet. So that's number 1. Number 2, until the Etihad, you're saying you expect us to win all games. If we get, what's it called? If we get 27 points out of the next 27, I'm sure me and Tom are going to be the 2 most positive people. So let's just wait until that happens because no 3 points is an easy point. We just saw this Saturday, Wolves lost to Man City, so we've got to be on it. But they've just done the whole Liverpool against the world scenario, which they don't know. That's what we thrive in. Bingo. Shout out to my man, James Redmond. Red Chili, I thought that was your last £2. You've sent me £4 since then.
No, he said until midnight. We hit midnight now.
Oh, did you get paid at midnight?
He hit
Fair enough,
payday,
Red
mate.
Chili.
He hit payday.
Fair enough, Red Chili. Fair enough. Anyway, big up to you, Red Chili. Big up to Felipe, big up to Tayyib, Joe, Cave, Ilwazi, Sidi, Red Chili, Ryan, Ash, and Simon for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Make sure you're all liking it. Make sure you're subscribing. Stay on this video. Don't touch your phone. Don't touch your remotes. Don't touch your TVs. Wherever you're watching. This video is gonna immediately take you to Tom Little's video. Go watch it. Go subscribe to his channel. Help him get his watch hours up as well. So yalla, go and watch the thing. So Tom, before you go, where can people find you?
Tom Little with the one on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, the works, mate. Like you said, we're closing on monetization now. And if you're new here or you just forgot, the first monetized stream will be me getting people on to laugh at my shit football takes, because apparently I've made a couple of them. I disagree, but apparently I've made some football takes that deserve to be laughed at. So that's going to be the first one, and I'm open to hearing any comments for who wants to get on that. Any names like a Redmond or a Husam or whoever you want to see cook me for saying that Mason Mount should be signed by Liverpool Football Club, as an example. Let me know, because
I'm going to be the one with the biggest list as well.
Yeah, Husam's gonna pull it up like it's a fucking Rico case.
100%. Your honor.
Like Mike Ross.
What crime is this? Anyway, guys, look, this is what I want you to do. You see, you're on my video right now, right here. So I want you to do this. Click this X right here. Hit the like button. Make sure you've liked the video. Big up Bab al-Hara. Make sure you've liked the video. And don't do anything. Just keep this video open when I end it. And it will immediately take you to Tom Little's video. So, yalla, big up to you guys. And see you guys on the other side. I'm going to be in his chat now as well. So, peace out.